So most of you know that this new show, WWE LFG on A&E, has just came out with episode 1 this past Sunday. I watched it and I thought, what a great way to kind of make a video for the week. I do 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I needed a final video for the week. And as I was watching it, I decided, let me take some notes about what I liked, what I didn't like, and we'll just talk about it. So yeah, before we get into it, leave in the comments what you thought of the show, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, what you did like about it, who you liked in there, the contestants that are part of it, maybe if you liked or didn't like something the Legends did. Let's get a conversation going down below. So starting off from the jump, Bully Ray kind of just being, Bully Ray, I guess. This is like my big gripe with the show. I know it's a work. I've been around the block. I'm 26, but I've been, in and around the wrestling business for over 10 years. So I know it's work. I saw it coming from a mile away that it is a work. Here's the thing, though. It's kind of like a work shoot, and I don't like it. I've been around a ton of people here in Florida, in the Florida scene. I've been around a ton of people that have trained at the Dudley School when Bubba was kind of more involved in it. And the stories I've been told about him and the way he kind of acts towards people, I could tell in the show he wasn't kind of playing, even though they probably told him he needs to play it up and whatnot. And that's one thing I hate. I hate when people are kind of in these positions where they kind of get to do whatever they want when they're clearly not great people. I'm not saying that he can't be critical or anything like that. You have to be. I get that, but the common courtesy of not shaking somebody's hand, whether he's a rookie or the Undertaker, I don't get it. I don't like it. In the wrestling business, no matter who you are, what you've done, where you've been, you shake everybody's hand. It's just a form of respect and a form of really just acknowledging that this person is another human being. So yeah, the fact that, again, I understand it's a work, but how much of it really is a work? So I don't like that he's kind of in there doing what he's done. We've also seen, reports over the years of how he's kind of acted towards fans at times and stuff. So he kind of is just, I guess, living the gimmick. But living the gimmick, I guess, just makes him a real life asshole. And so I don't really like the fact that he's getting paid good money and being held in high esteem to kind of just be a horrible person to everybody. You have a guy like the Undertaker in there who has no problem shaking somebody's hand, no problem acknowledging somebody, and he's done everything and anything. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, literally the godfather of professional wrestling, and this guy has no problem with shaking people's hands or talking to somebody or just kind of being a nice person to somebody. So yeah, if Undertaker can do that, not that anybody has a right to be rude, but if Undertaker can do it, the godfather of wrestling can be a nice person and acknowledge that these people are human beings. I think a guy who's just been in a tag team, one of the most successful tag teams, I won't discredit him there, but a guy that was just a part of a tag team where one half of the other side of the team was carrying most of the weight. Don't be an asshole. That's all I can say about that. Undertaker got a big entrance as they introduced all of the legends. They introduced Bubba Ray and Booker T and Mickey James, and they kind of came out from where they were. They just kind of walked in, but Undertaker got the big entrance. I liked it. It made sense. I thought it was cool because Undertaker, like I just said, is literally the godfather of professional wrestling. He's one of the most notable names in the world when you talk about professional wrestling. People like John Cena, The Rock, Undertaker are 3 of the kind of names that someone who doesn't even watch wrestling knows who they are. And 2 of those guys went into acting, whereas the other one didn't. So that also kind of shows how big the Undertaker is and how much of a fan base he has, that even people that don't watch wrestling still know who he is just from professional wrestling. So him getting kind of the grand entrance on his bike made all the sense in the world to me. I thought it was great. Now, kind of moving into the contestants a little bit, Shiloh Hill is one of the first people that we are kind of introduced to, and I immediately connected with him off the rip because he was telling a story about how he loved the stuff with his dad, and his dad was very, supportive of him in anything he did, and unfortunately his dad passed away. It hits home. My dad passed away a few years ago in 2021, so maybe I'm biased, but off the rip, if I'm watching a show or a movie or anything like that where someone doesn't have their dad, I immediately kind of connect to that character, and I immediately want to kind of root for that character. So he's already, just from the the sympathy that I have and the connection I kind of have to that situation, I'm already kind of excited to see what he can do. Tyra May Steele is probably my favorite contestant so far. I think she is incredible. She seems like a great person. I don't know her. I haven't met her. I don't know her. So I could be wrong because it is TV and things are different for TV. But off the rip, off the first impression, she does seem like just a nice person, a great person, had a great personality, is very athletic. She's a gold medalist, so it's like I feel like she has the complete package of she's got the athleticism, she's got the personality. I could see her going and doing really big things. Maybe being, you kind of want to be your own person, but I could see her being kind of a female Kurt Angle for sure. Obviously, two very similar paths there, so I could see her kind of going that same route, but on the female side. So I expect really big things from her. I hope in 10 years that she's main eventing WrestleManias, because everything I saw about her, from, again, her personality, her character and charisma, her athleticism, I thought she was perfect all around. Moving into like the kind of promo area of this episode, where they had everyone kind of cut a promo off the rip. Something I do find that is interesting is that there are people that have been there for about 2 years, and there's literally people like Elijah Holyfield that literally had started that week. So you kind of are at a disadvantage in a way, because you have certain people that have been there for 2 years, a year, 9 months, something like that, that have been practicing their promos, compared to someone that's been there literally it's their first week and may have no clue how to cut a promo or structure a promo, may not even know what a wrestling promo is. So hopefully the judges are kind of taking that into account of, we can't be too critical of this guy over this guy, or this girl over this girl, because she's literally been here a week and this person's been here for 2 years. But Jasper Troy, one of the ones I kind of liked. He has the look. I thought his promo was okay, but his look is everything. He looks like he legitimately will kill somebody, and I think that's exactly what they need. He's a big man. He can legitimately be a incredible monster in NXT and in WWE if he can kind of work on the character more, work on the promo a little bit. It was good, but it could still be better, and work on the character and obviously the in-ring work, because he's still, very green. But if he can hone in on all that stuff, I think, we got like a new Obafemi, a new Big Show, a new Braun Strowman, a new Brock Lesnar on our hands here, because he's huge and he legitimately looks very intimidating. Elijah Holyfield, the son of Evander Holyfield, that's a big kind of thing that I noticed when it came to the show before the show aired, was that he was going to be a part of this. Automatically piqued my interest when he got in the ring to cut a promo. It was very corny, I will not lie, but again, he had literally been there for a week at the time that they filmed that, so I don't put too much into that, because again, it was a kind of corny promo, but he's literally been there a week, so this is probably the first legitimate wrestling promo he's ever cut. But he has a great look. He's athletic as hell, and he has that built-in history, something like a Charlotte Flair, something like a Dwayne Johnson and an Ava, where you have that built-in history. Even though Evander Holyfield is not a professional wrestler, he's still one of the biggest and greatest boxers of all time, and his son obviously wants to forge his own path, which is great. But I think there is a time and a place where they can kind of hone in on the fact that, look at who my father is. You don't think I'm going to be able to take you out? It's in my blood. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's got a great look, and he has that built-in history that they can kind of play off of while he's also forging his own path. But promo obviously needed work. But again, he was literally there for a week at that time, so I'm not putting too much stress on him for that. But another thing I will add was I really, really enjoyed, is something small, I really enjoyed when Elijah was done with this promo and he walked back into kind of the gym area. Majority of the girls kind of came and comforted him, and not that he needed comforting, but they just encouraged him, and they all were hugging him and really hyping him up and saying he did a great job. They only showed it for him, but I'm hoping that everybody, guys and girls, were doing that for each other. But it was something that just made me feel good. I really enjoyed the fact that these people are all, probably strangers, or they've maybe known each other a few months, few weeks. Like in his case, again, been there a week, so he may be meeting these people for the first time that day or that week. So the fact that they all kind of came in and were hugging him and saying he did a great job and he should be proud of himself, I really enjoyed that. And I hope, again, that everybody was kind of doing that for each other. Wrestling is a competition, but it can also be a really cool family kind of situation. I was booking a weekly show with my dad's company, ACW. We were doing a weekly show. I was the booker, and that was something I kind of stressed was, listen, I understand everyone's here to get to WWE, but you have to kind of work together. When you're in a wrestling ring, it's not just you in there. You're working with a partner, right? Your opponent is your partner. The referee is your partner. You have to work together. If you have a manager at ringside, they're a part of it. It's all a team effort. So I think it translates backstage as well, where I kind of wanted a kind of family-style bond there, so that I felt like it would make everybody kind of have better performances because you trust people more and whatnot. And so that's what we had. So when I see something like that in a big stage, I really enjoy it. I hope the rest of NXT is kind of like that. Because in general, I think it makes a better kind of product when everyone is very close and connected and can trust each other, and not when everyone's sitting there at each other's throats wanting to just topple over each other. I'm not a fan of that. Shiloh Hill cut a promo, and it wasn't that great. They sat there and they kind of picked it apart and said, what the hell even was that? But I did like the fact that he was able to kind of turn on a switch where they said, what kind of promo did you just cut? Would you even like consider that a promo? And I agreed. I was like, okay, that's a horrible promo. But he instantly, bam, was able to snap into that switch and just went full crazy, which is incredible. I will say, Bubba Ray was right with the why didn't you show us that in the beginning? But I think it wasn't because he couldn't. It was obviously because I think he's just very nervous and thought maybe the safer route is to just cut this promo, which was the first promo. So I think going forward, his promos will be a lot more, a little bit of the first promo where it was kind of, hey, I'm this guy, and then it immediately goes into that killer mode. I think if he can hone in on that and use that for his promos, he's going to be incredible. Tatiana Dumas is another one that I'm very high on so far. Again, it is only one episode, so I haven't seen too much, but from what I saw, I think she's one of the ones. Overall, I feel like the women in the show are kind of just more interesting. I feel like they have more character. They have more fire. I think, yeah, in general, like the women are kind of more interesting. When I saw her, I instantly did kind of think of Jada Parker. She had a very similar look. But Tatiana's promo did need a little bit of work. But in general, I think her look is there. I think she's got that down pat. So I'm excited to see where she goes, and hopefully she can do really big things in this show. Panina has everything from what I saw. She instantly reminded me, and I saw a few other people posting about it, of kind of a female Jacob Fatu. She had the promo down. I thought her promo was great, one of the better ones I've seen. We haven't seen her in the ring yet, and we haven't seen necessarily her full character yet, but from the promo, it gave very heavy Jacob Fatu vibes, which obviously Jacob Fatu is one of the biggest WWE superstars in the world right now. Everybody loves him. He's doing incredible stuff, and I think it's a mix between his in-ring work being awesome, but also he does incredible promos that feel very real and very true to himself. So her doing the same thing, I felt it didn't feel like she was just ripping off Jacob Fatu. It felt like she was talking from the heart. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, so I'm excited to see where she goes. Sexy BJ Ray is goofy as hell, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love it. I hope he's not really, fully like this just backstage at NXT shows and stuff like that. I hope he understands there's a time and a place to kind of do this goofy stuff. The coaches didn't get it when he cut the promo about, oh, I got kicked in the head and everyone wants to know what I did and I asked for Snapchat or whatever. The coaches didn't understand it, but I'm not gonna lie, I think it was more a kind of fact that the coaches are, older. Not that they're all old, but they're older. They're not in his age range. I'm closer in his age range. I get it. I understand where he was going, what he was going for. So I get it. It wasn't great. He needed more to the promo in general, but I thought it was funny. Obviously, the big thing here that makes for great TV is his little feud with Bubba Ray. But I'm not gonna lie, as kind of disrespectful or kind of cocky as BJ Ray comes off, I agreed with him in the whole situation with the Bubba Ray stuff. Bubba Ray was kind of just being rude. I get he's a vet. I get he's a legend. He's part of the, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. But you kind of just a dick, dude. And that's where BJ Ray was like, it's not that serious, man. And I kind of agree with him. Where, again, there needs to be respect shown to everybody and whatnot. But you don't have to take it that far. The guy literally, did extend a hand to shake your hand. He tried to show you respect and shake your hand. And you just kind of totally shit on him. Again, I understand it's work. I get it. It's just for, the drama to make the show better. But if I'm looking at it as a real situation, I actually agree with BJ Ray in this situation. But yeah, he's goofy as hell, but something about it kind of appeals to me. I think it's funny. And as he left from the promo, all of the coaches literally said, he's got talent, he's just going to waste it. Even Bubba Ray did put him over and say, well, the second promo was great. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see where he goes from here because I think it's going to be a fun ride to see what he gets up to in this show. Now, moving into the kind of matches, they had two matches, one match for the men, one match for the women. Jeremy Borash being on commentary here in these matches, I absolutely love. I am a kid of the 2000s, so obviously I grew up watching WWE, but I also grew up watching like prime TNA. So Jeremy Borash being in there, he is kind of one of the announcers of my childhood. I always enjoyed his ring announcing in TNA, so seeing him getting to, be on commentary for this show really warmed my heart. I know he's been there for years doing producer stuff and helping with kind of promos and character vignettes and stuff like that, but seeing him actually get some sort of on-screen role really made me happy because I always thought he was very, very good in TNA. Going into the match here for the men, the Legends were absolutely right about Anthony Luke not getting any heat. He was supposed to be the heel. That's what that's what they asked for. So in a wrestling show, that's what the promoter or the booker would be asking for. So the fact that he was kind of working babyface when he was supposed to be a heel didn't work. He didn't do anything to get heat, like Mickey James was saying. I 100% agree. There should have been times where he was trying to choke Homeboy on the ropes, things like that, trying to get, sneaky stuff through the ref, behind the ref, things like that. He should have added more. But again, this is probably his first match, so it's something to work on. That when someone says, hey, you're the heel, you have to not just go out there and do your moves. You can't just get your shit in. You have to, yes, get your shit in, but you also have to do some heel work. You have to work the crowd. I saw in his little entrance, he did work the crowd a little bit, and I saw them kind of booing him, but that can't be the only time you get heat. You have to do it in the entrance. You have to do it throughout the match where you cut that babyface down. That's the whole point of having a heat after, a cutoff and a heat there. So, yeah, that's something I totally agreed with. He needed to do something to get the heat during the match, not just in the entrance. Anthony Luke is the real-life boyfriend of Maxine Dupree. I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure I'd want them kind of publicizing that much. Not that there's anything wrong with Maxine. It's just, I don't think I'd want, people watching at home to think that, oh, he only got his opportunity because of his girlfriend. I think Jeremy Borash legitimately did say that on commentary. Well, Maxine Dupree got signed, and then, it opened the door for him to get signed. And I'm like, I'm not sure and obviously he can't control the edit there. He can't control what's being said, but it's not something I think I'd be too happy about, because you want to show that you've earned your way there, not because your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or wife or mom or dad or brother or sister or cousin got you in. You want to show that you got there because you're talented, not because you just had a foot in the door already. I know I've said some things about Bubba here that doesn't make me, too favorable in his eyes, I guess you could say. But I will say he was 100% right in the women's match about not being able to see the girl's eyes. Wrestling is all about the facial expressions. You know what I'm saying? It's acting. So you have to be able to see your face, because when you're in a hold, the fans need to see that you're in pain and that they need to cheer for you to try and get you back on your feet. So if your face is all covered by your hair, they can't see you, they can't connect with you. Same thing with like kind of a luchador with a mask, where if your face is totally covered, they can't see your facial expressions. You have to work, harder. A luchador has to work harder and has to kind of act more with their body because they don't have their face to emote with. So yeah, I agree with him that she, had to get the hair out of her face, because yeah, you need the crowd to see that you're in pain to want to root for you and cheer for you to get on your feet. After the matches, they the coaches kind of chose between the men and women's match who, in their eyes, were the best out of the match. So they chose Tyra and they chose Anthony Luke. And the perk with that was they got to choose who their legend mentor coach was, instead of everyone else who kind of gets sorted, I guess. We'll find out next episode, I believe, how that's actually going to go down. I want to add that I really enjoyed Tyra kind of turning heel mid-match. Like I said, she seems like a great, kind of really nice girl, so it caught me off guard, and I thought that was awesome that she kind of flipped that switch mid-match and just started kind of working heel and working aggressive. So that was something that I thought was cool. I'm excited to see how they play off that every once in a while. Tyra choosing The Undertaker as her mentor, to me, made all the sense in the world. She doesn't have a dark gimmick, but it does seem like she kind of already has the athleticism there and just needs to hone in on her character. So her choosing Undertaker, who is one of the best character wrestlers of all time, to be her mentor, I think was the best choice. Obviously, he's going to help her. Again, it's not a dark gimmick, but in general, I think he's going to be able to help her figure out, about her character and when to do this and when to do that and what to say and what not to say about her character. So her choosing Undertaker as her mentor made all the sense in the world to me. And Anthony Luke chose Booker T as his mentor. Again, same thing. I think it was an incredible choice. It made the most sense. Athletically, he is probably the most similar to Booker over Undertaker or Bubba or obviously Mickey James. So I think he made a good choice there with Booker T as his mentor. It seemed like the perfect fit. So yeah, I think there's going to be some good stuff there where Booker can relate to him, or Anthony can relate to Booker of what he's saying, because they are very similar in the way that they are. So yeah, and that's the end of the video. Just some notes, just some things. Again, it's just my opinion. My opinion is not certain, set in stone, so it's not the end all be all. If you disagree, it's okay. Again, leave a comment, some things you liked, some things you didn't like about the show. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video on each episode of this. I just at least wanted to get this one out, and I'll see how it does, see if everybody likes it, and maybe I'll keep doing them. But yeah, I just wanted to see how this would go and see if y'all would like this. So if you did like it, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.